The Real Estate Show. The Real Estate Show has been on air now a little over 6 years, and back in 2013 I did a show about floods. And I thought because of all the situation that's happened down in Texas just recently because of Hurricane Harvey, we would take a moment to go back in time and look at some of the very valuable information that was offered during that episode. Let's take a look. To the Real Estate Show, my name's Rick Naples. You know, I'm standing right now in a small little kitchen in a home that's for sale, like many of the homes that I present here on the Real Estate Show. In every home, we have a water source, whether it's our bathroom, bathtub, or in this case, a kitchen sink. And water is a great thing. Water is a life-giving source. We can't survive without it. But it's great only when it's contained. When water is not contained or overflows from its source, we have what's called a flood. So on tonight's show, we're going to talk a little bit about floods, the different types of floods, and some of the new regulations that are coming up concerning flood insurance when you're purchasing a home. As you just saw in that presentation, it talks about the types of flooding. Here in Connecticut, we've seen a number of different types of flooding. The Connecticut Realtors recently came out with a list of 10 things that you can do to help minimize the damage should a flood occur. Let's take a look at those. This next presentation I want to share with you talks about retrofitting. Now, retrofitting is when you modify a building for a specific type of reason, perhaps to protect against flood damage or high storm damage or hurricane. There was an article that came out. You can retrofit your home to help, again, minimize damage during a storm. Let's take a look.
Today's not a day to wag fingers and to assign blame. Today is a day to stick out an olive branch and say we are willing to work with everybody on this stage and turn Connecticut into a state that businesses can't refuse to come to. That you need to be here and do business in the state of Connecticut.
Tell me what's been done around here in the last 20 years that makes your job easier. How about nothing? How about nothing?
Thank you for being up in Hartford today. I think this is the largest group we've seen in a long time, and certainly the largest group for realtors we've ever seen up here in Hartford. So thank you for being out here today.
And we want to hear those voices. We want to hear you involved in your government. And by being here today, you're doing that.
I hope no one's trying to sell a house in Connecticut today because we're all here. You have a great crowd and we really appreciate it.
This is incredible, having over 2,000 realtors descend on Capitol Hill. If you want to think about your voices being heard, today they are being heard by all the legislators that you've seen up on stage.
Not only today, but for the last few years, we've heard and we've seen people talking about, and businesses talking about moving out of Connecticut. We, you and I, are here to tell the legislature that things must change.
I really want to thank you folks for doing this. It's so important. Your message just couldn't be more appropriate. The timing couldn't be more appropriate. We really are at a critical point in the state of Connecticut.
Because you are on the front lines. You do see who is coming and going, and you know from firsthand knowledge that people are leaving Connecticut. You know that people don't want to buy houses and therefore people aren't able to sell their houses. You know that because you do it every day. That's not a story. That's not spin. That's not politics. That's reality.
There were some that thought we couldn't put 1,000 people here. We've doubled that. So I want to thank you all. Today we lead with the olive branch and we commit to put our shoulders behind this. But in the future, perhaps if we don't get what we want, we'll put our shoulders behind replacing the people that didn't get us there.
Once there has been a flood, it's panic mode. A lot of things happen to your home, a lot of loss incurs, and you need to recover. I put together a presentation that goes over some of the different things that you can do once you've experienced a flood. It also has some websites in it where you can go and find some valuable information to help your situation out. Let's sit back and take a look. water is a very valuable resource. I mean, we need water, obviously, to survive. It's a very important thing for our life. But unfortunately, when you have too much water, it causes problems. And as I mentioned in the very beginning of the show, when water's contained, it's good. But when it gets out of its containment, it causes a lot of different problems. One of the aftermaths that happens when something gets wet is you have a situation of mold. And we've talked about mold before. I found this presentation from a previous episode of the Real Estate Show about mold, so I thought we'd take a look.
Real estate professionals are in a unique position that most working professionals never face. They often share their contact information openly with others, meet unknown clients, and walk through vacant properties, to name a few. It's because of the unique nature of this business that it's critical for all real estate professionals to have a personal safety protocol in place that they follow every day, with every client, every time. And that includes with you. So, what kind of safety protocols might your real estate agent take? When meeting you for the first time, your agent might not meet you at the property right away without first having an initial meeting at the office, regardless of you or your agent's gender. You wouldn't want to meet a stranger at an unknown location, would you?
Hey, how you doing?
No. During the initial meeting, your agent may make copies of your driver's license and pre-approval letter for their records. This precaution allows the agent to keep a record at the office of who his or her clients are and a calendar of appointments. When first meeting with your agent, you'll also discuss the types of real estate you're interested in and walk you through the process. Now your agent can arrange showings, meet you at properties, and schedule open houses to help you through the biggest financial decision of your life. When viewing a property, your agent may ask that you drive separately. Please don't be offended. This is a safety precaution for you as much as it is for your agent. Not to mention you may both have appointments to go to afterward.
Hey, this is cute.
When viewing a property, you may need to sign in with your name and phone number or show a photo ID. This is so the seller's agent knows who entered the house. If you were opening your home to strangers, you'd want to know who was there too. As you tour a property, your agent may walk behind you. This is not only a routine safety measure, it also allows you to see the room first and make your own impressions. And many agents won't go into attics, garages, or basements, but feel free to look around and let your agent know what you thought. If you want to see a property that's vacant,
It's got potential.
your agent may only show it during daylight hours. Vacant properties should be seen during the day when you can see what safety hazards may exist, like a loose floorboard or any defects the house may have, like mold. When showing your property or hosting an open house, before opening your home to potential buyers, your agent may ask you to board your pets and remove jewelry, family photos, credit card receipts, artwork, prescription drugs, and valued possessions from the home. This is just one way your agent is looking out for you to keep your property and belongings secure. Your agent may bring a colleague to host your open house. If there are several potential buyers walking through the home, even better to have 2 agents on hand to answer questions and keep an eye on things. Safety is an important part of real estate, and we appreciate you respecting the protocols and processes that have been put into place to keep you and your agent safe.
This is the portion of the real estate show I call the real estate mailbag. It's my opportunity to address questions that are emailed to me here at the real estate show, or just asked to me when I'm out and about. And this email came in that said, Rick, you keep teasing us about a big announcement. When are you going to make the big announcement? Well, the bottom line, folks, is of all the preparations have been put in place. We're making a few little tweaks and changes here to the real estate show, and when we're ready, you'll see everything that we have to present. My name is Rick Naples, and I thank you very much for watching the Real Estate Show. I'll see you next time.